Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mikey Report for this Labor Day, September 6th, 2010. Glad you can be with us. We have some stuff to cover, including Tropical Storm Hermine, or Hermine. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. I think it's Hermine, because Gaston was the last tropical storm that we had. So let's kick it off, actually, with Obama kicking off his campaign. Apparently, he kicks it off with an infrastructure plan proposing $50 billion in an initial investment and new business tax cuts, and making jabs to the grand old party. Saying, quote, "We are in Milwaukee, according to the Reuters report, we are going to rebuild 150,000 miles of our roads. That's enough to circle the world 6 times. We're going to lay and maintain 4,000 miles of our railways, enough to stretch coast to coast," Obama told a labor rally in the Brewing City, where several thousand supporters cheered his every line. Definitely a Democratic-filled area. With fellow Democrats facing punishment from recession-weary voters in November, Obama is under pressure to do more to create jobs and bring down the stubbornly high 9.6% unemployment rate, even as economists agree he has few good options left. Infrastructure plan, one of several initiatives Obama's unveiling this week, was immediately criticized by the Republicans, who many analysts predict could win control of the House in the congressional elections on November 2nd. So we shall see what this plan will entail, including the plan would cut business taxes by some $200 billion over the next 2 years, according to an administration official. Obama would propose in Cleveland that businesses be allowed to write off all their new investments in plant and equipment through 2011. Okay, why give it to businesses when you need it for the people? Give the tax cuts to the people. Give it to all the people. Because that's who needs it, the people, not the businesses. Even though the businesses do need the assistance, the people need it to be like, oh, we're getting this money, therefore we can stimulate the economy to try to get that back up and going. Because if we put money into the economy, it will continue in this big circle, hoping that we'll get it back to us eventually. Put money into, go out and shop, that way they can hire more employees, therefore employees get more money and get the money, and then they can go and spend, and then it's just a continuous cycle, as long as you apply it right. That's one thing some administrations don't know how to do. Apply money where it needs to go. I'm just saying. So, Obama would also announce Wednesday a proposal for Congress to increase and permanently extend a tax cut for business research and development. It would cost $100 billion over 10 years. Deficit hawks have their doubts, though. According, the White House stressed the plan would not add to the record U.S. deficit, which is a key issue for voters. We've had 2 presidents since Clinton. I mean, granted, Clinton didn't have a great track record overall, but he did we did end with a surplus in his 2 terms as president. So I'm hoping and praying that we get someone who can help us boost the economy and get this country back where it has been. Speaking of getting parts of the country where they have been, fortunately enough, none of the hurricanes really have been hit in Louisiana, including this latest tropical storm, Hermine, which has made landfall in northeast Mexico and around 40 miles south of Brownsville, home of that Brownsville revival back in the late 90s. Linda Cooley and all that jazz. So, not really much on the rainfall impact. It's pretty locally heavy rain, but potential for flooding from that northeast Mexico all the way up through Oklahoma City, as far east as Houston, and further west than San Antonio. Projected path sends it actually about still holding pretty strong going through Tuesday night when it hits about middle of Texas, close to the middle of Texas. Wednesday morning it should hit middle of Texas, where it's a remnant low with about 30 miles an hour, and then cutting up through Oklahoma and Kansas for a 25 mile an hour remnant low. But, of course, not affecting us in Pennsylvania, as we have some wonderful weather. It's been nice, cool, and comfortable. But we might be seeing some wind up in Mount Cobb. It's currently 62 up in Mount Cobb area, 62, 64 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 70 here in Phoenixville. We had a high today of 75, just above the average of 71. Looking at a low of 53 tonight, not as cold as last night, as the weather continues to come up. A little bit windy up there in the northeast part of the state, as we got wind affecting the weather on Wednesday, a high of 74 degrees. Thursday we're looking at 65 degrees, partly cloudy skies. And the rest of the work week should be sunny and cool at 65 and 70 degrees on Saturday the 11th. But going later on into the weekend, showers possible, 68 degrees. Going into middle of next week, we're looking at low 70s, partly cloudy to sunny skies. Going into next week in Mount Cobb. In Phoenixville, however, not a very high, but a high pollen level, so of course keep your Kleenex and your Zyrtec and Claritin, or Benadryl, whichever allergy medication you use, handy. Like I said, 70 degrees right now here in Phoenixville, 82, just one above the average here in Phoenixville. Looking at a 60 degree low with winds out south at 4 miles an hour. But we're expected to have higher winds as well. Sunny skies though, 91 degrees. Winds out of the south-southwest at 13. Winds out tomorrow night, showers possible, 67 degrees. 40% chance of precip there. South-southwest winds at 10. And looking at our 10-day, we are gonna see 86 degree days, 86 degrees for Wednesday with wind. Thursday the 9th, 75 degrees, finishing off the work week, partly cloudy, 74 degrees. Saturday the 11th, as you remember 9/11, or do whatever you so desire. Me probably hitting the yard sale and going to having a little campfire and bonfire. 77 degrees and sunny during the day. Few showers possible down here in Phoenixville on the 12th, 76 degrees. Monday the 13th, Tuesday 14th, Wednesday 15th, partly cloudy, mostly sunny skies, 80 to 82 degrees during the first part of next week. And we have some baseball. We have a lot of sports to get to. Let's quickly get to that right now. We have scores from the U.S. Open results. Maria Sharapova, one of my personal favorite players, lost to Wozniacki 6-3, 6-4.
You get fired or you just quit? No, I was let go. It was just seasonal. I knew I wasn't going to get fired.
U.S. Open action, Roger Federer won 6-3, 7-6, 6-3. Djokovic also moved on along with Soderling and Monfils. In baseball action, the Yanks lost to the O's 4-3. Phil's losing to the Fish 7-1, but they win the second game 7-4. And Rockies lose to Cincy 10-5. Padres trying to snap their 10-game losing streak. They're ahead on the Dodgers 3-1 in top of the 7th. And Boston beat Tampa Bay 12-5. And Giants beat the D-backs 2-0 in 11 innings. And Hoffman wins the Deutsche Bank Championship. And in football action tonight, Maryland beat Navy 17-14. And Boise State with a 7-3 fourth quarter wins 33-30 over Virginia Tech. So Steelers tabbed Dixon as their start. Dennis Dixon as their starter for the first 4 games. And Ben Roethlisberger loses his captaincy as the captains were named for the Steelers today. Darrelle Revis gets a new deal and rejoins the Jets. As he ends up signing a 4-year, $46 million deal after officially ending a 36-day holdout. So Revis stays with the Jets, and that is good news in New York. Or the Meadowlands, depending on what you decide to talk about. And we'll have some big college news, some college action to cover next week as Penn State faces Bama. That is going to be one of the big matches in college football. Notre Dame will be facing Michigan as well. The Penn State-Bama game, 7 o'clock on ESPN, and NBC will be covering that Notre Dame game. In NFL begins on Thursday with Vikings Saints on NBC at 8:30. Steelers have named Hines Ward, Heath Miller, James Ferrier, and Kieran Fox as their captains for this year. Hines Ward said that the captain's not just what you